Heavy is the head that has to manage all of this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
We're now incentivized to buy what we already buy.
Fumbling through college had me building.
I also got some done on the other side.
And that was right around, I would say, May maybe, right before renewing the lease for this property.
Welcome to the channel, Martha.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, I was going to say, I am getting up in their names, I'll tell you what.
Bills paid by other people, life was never this good. I had to step back, knowing that it's...
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about sustainable real estate investments. And when we talk about sustainable real estate investing, it's not actually what you think it may be. It's not how do I sustain my portfolio or how do I manage the properties that I already have under contract, but it's more so basically how to be more eco-friendly, how to use less greenhouse gases and natural resources in our environment, because using all these emissions is actually at an all-time high right now across our great nation. And the reason for that is obviously as our population grows, we're going to be consuming more fuel, and that is going to lead to more burn, right? So we're burning more fossil fuel, oil, coal, all these things, which leads to less energy being available for all of us. And so what sustainable real estate investing is having a building that is self-sufficient. That means it has their own energy, it has their own water, it has a lot of natural stuff. So I'll give you a quick story. Back when I was in Africa on vacation, my grandfather had a tube that would collect rainwater. And that rainwater could then be used to shower. It could be used to give out water to children in the neighborhood. It could be used to drink, right? And that is self-sufficiency, to be able to sustain yourself through a natural resource like rain. Now, there's a lot of companies out there that will tell you that they are going green and they're moving towards a more sustainable future in order to attract clients, in order to do a bunch of things. But it also may be because laws are changing, and the Fed, as well as local municipalities, are starting to enact that a lot of these companies need to go green and be more self-sufficient. So it's not as if every business is wanting to spend a whole bunch of money in order to go green, but they may be forced to do so. And some companies that require new commercial buildings, some states and cities that require new commercial buildings to be completely self-sufficient is Dallas, Texas, as well as Austin, Texas. So both in the great state of Texas. And so if you're getting a new commercial real estate building, it has to be sustainable already, right? So if you're someone who is an investor looking at a commercial building, which would be 5 units or more, it would already have to be self-sufficient if it is new. So any new build coming up would have to be self-sufficient, which is actually going to save you money in the long run, but it could be a costly upgrade if it's not already implemented. And I'm sure that a lot of buildings will need to be brought up to code within the great state of Texas. Now, this can be something that happens all across the board, across many states. I can definitely see California doing something like this. I can definitely see other states like maybe Florida following suit with all that water that Florida has. And so, you know, states that are super hot like Texas, where you get a solar panel and boom, all that energy like that. Florida too, pretty hot climate, lots of water surrounding it. Like there's no reason why they can't be self-sufficient. But for the municipalities to be enforcing this, for the Fed to be enforcing this, and then of course our president is still President Joe Biden at this time, was very, very big on going green and electric vehicles and just being eco-friendly. And so sustainable investing, when you're looking at sustainable investing, you want to look at the laws within your state that you live in. And you want to make sure that everything is up to standard, everything is up to snuff, as some would say. You do not want to invest in something that you're going to have to spend $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 to bring up to code, because I can promise you anything to do with water won't be an easy fix, especially when it's rerouting your entire house to be sustainable, especially for a commercial building, because this is more so commercial than residential. So if you're someone who is able and has the means to buy a commercial building, and your local laws state that it must be sustainable, I would not proceed with any purchase that is not already self-sufficient, unless you have money set aside to go ahead and do those upgrades. And when doing those upgrades, you have to factor in other costs. You might find something else that may need to be fixed. For example, I hear all the time when people are doing basement remodels, they may find mold in the basement. They may find that their water system is damaged and they need to upgrade it. They may find so many different things, rust buildup, old wire lines, things like that, that can truly, truly affect the cost of what you're going into. And that's why I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'm telling you to just go with something that is already set and ready to go. Unless you're building from the ground up, you're doing like a new build, then sure. Now, some people might say, why would I want to go commercial in the first place? And honestly, once you get 5, 6, 7 properties, do you truly want to be scattered all over the place, or do you want to have access to that property in one area? Now, especially if it's all in the same state, that means it's subject to the same natural disasters, it's subject to the same weather and environment. Why not just have your property in one area, right? That commercial building allows you to have one access point to meet a variety of tenants, or have one property manager that can manage your property more efficiently in the same area, address several concerns, and be seen as well, right? It is important to be seen. Now, if you have properties in multiple other states, there's advantages and disadvantages to that. For example, it's not subject to the same weather environments and conditions. The interest rates, not the interest rates, but the insurance may be less in a place that you are not living in. And that would be my only reasoning for you to not invest in the state that you live in, is because the cost of doing business is cheaper where you're investing. So that is great. And again, we talked about insurance being less, which would also be great. And, but then there's also costs associated with having to contract work out, maybe having to fly out there yourself and ensure that everything goes as planned. And so, everything has their pros and cons, but you have to weigh that out for yourself. But if I know anything about people who are aggressive in investing, is that they are probably going to want to condense their portfolio at some point, go bigger. And so they're going to be looking at apartment buildings. They're going to be looking at commercial buildings. Now, if you like this topic on sustainable investing, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them down below. I post on YouTube, Spotify, and Rumble for, YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify for podcasters. And I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace.